What's up, everybody? We are back. It's live before lock. A lot of people saying hashtag gnome in the chat. We did not get gnome this week, but we did go overseas. George, thanks for coming back on, man. Good to have the swingman pod himself on.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here.
Ghost, how are we doing, sir?
Doing great, man. Excited for another live before lock.
Yeah, we got another fun one. I hate it. I hate it. I've just been getting worse and worse at this game, even though I feel like I'm getting more and more knowledge. Although we did end up with 2 limited rewards. We're going to talk a little bit about the play with friends thing towards the end. We'll announce who got some W's last week. We're going to run that again this week. We're still not going to have the official So Rare prizes, but those should be coming in the next game week or so as they're still tinkering with some of the stuff. But let's clean up some housekeeping real quick. You can find a bunch of stuff, everything we're going to be using today in the show notes. There's a link to Momentum Labs. That's where we use our projections. But I know you're here for like one reason and one reason only, and that is for our sick ass giveaway. So like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold, put hashtag George into the chat. What we will be doing is giving away at least a limited tier card. If we hit up to 200 live viewers will give away a rare tier on top of the limited tier. So that'd be 2 giveaways, 1 for each 100 of you. So we'll have a fun one. And if this is your first time joining us, just a reminder, the way how we're going to break this down, we'll go over the injury news. Then we're going to kind of go through projections, but as we highlight some of the plays that we are excited about in the low L10, mid-range, MVP, and then we'll have like a good 25, 30 minutes of Q&A stuff. So a lot of fun stuff. Let's dive right into it. Let's just dive into some injury stuff. Oh, actually, before we do that, what's our take of the slate? Take of game week 38. Anybody got anything spicy they want to start with? I didn't even set you up for that, but I don't know. Like as you're looking at the weekend itself, is there anything you're like, oh, this is interesting?
I mean, I think we got a lot of bare bones rosters coming in, which we're probably going to see a lot more of as we get towards the end of the season and really firing up the tank here. But the Spurs lineup is looking like it's going to be pretty decimated. Pistons are looking pretty bad. So we're going to have a lot of reserves getting some significant minutes this game slate.
It's really cool when teams that had no problem losing a bunch of games on their own are like, oh, maybe we should sit some of our starters. Like San Antonio, you were doing fine. Like you don't need to add extra gas to it. You're going to lose all on your own. George, what about you? Anything sticking out?
I'm praying. Well, spicy take here, but I'm feeling this is the bowl week. He finally delivers. He finally delivers more than 20 so rare points. That's what
you said the magic words. Let's rip it.
Bowl.
His first name is Bull and his last name is Bull.
No, yeah. Long legs.
Oh my god! I bet his legs are taller than my whole body. I'm leaving you for Bull. Like.
Yeah, my hot take right here, Taylor Meyer. I agree with this. That's gonna be my take. I'm very excited to go watch that game tonight. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna have myself a little nightcap and a little snack or something, and I'm gonna go watch the game. That's gonna be my adult thing for the day. Let's take a look at some of the injury news stuff that we got going on. So AD, which everybody was starting to go. I heard the chatter. I saw it in the Discord. Everyone's like, Wenyen Gabriel's season. Well, Anthony Davis is playing, so maybe Gabriel's still fine, but like chill. We got Trae Young. He's probable. De'Aaron Fox is available. Paul George is not on the injury report, but I do believe we have Kawhi out, right? Did I just make that up, or is Kawhi out?
No, he's injury management.
Yeah, take a break, dude. It was tough getting your ass whooped last night. Jimmy Butler is questionable. Jonas Valanciunas has been ruled out. Anthony Simons is out, or maybe Valanciunas is doubtful. I thought I saw he was ruled out. Aaron Gordon's probable. Michael Porter Jr. probable. Shredder is probable. Norman Powell is out. PJ Washington. Let's quickly just kind of do a little refresh over here.
Jonathan Isaac out for the season again.
Yeah, the Isaac stuff's tough. More time for the book tour.
LaMelo out for the season. There's some bummer injuries this week.
Yeah, there's some tough stuff going on. So first up, we got PJ. We already saw was ruled out. I want to make sure RJ Hampton looks like he's going to play. Livers is going to play. Alec Burks is out. Isaiah Stewart is out. Jalen Duren's out. Boyan is out. So the entire, even like the bad guys for Detroit are out.
James Wiseman season.
It is. Yeah, I wasn't going to play him in my main squad, but it looks like I will be. So with the Clippers here, this is something. So with Norman Powell out, Marcus Morris is out, Zubats is questionable. I mean, I guess like let's just start there and then we'll dive into some of our takes. What are you doing with that Clippers roster? Like, are you like locking in Paul George if you have him with all of those guys out? Or are you like maybe Bones, maybe Eric Gordon, maybe Terrence Mann? Like, what are you doing?
Was Russ listed there as well? Is he playing? Because
I think no, you're right. Russ is a good call. I'm pretty sure Russ is
just
in.
let Russ cook. A little triple double action. Just let him spread some chaos out there. Like I'm a little bit excited about Russ there. And then Bones, I think, is always like a threat when he actually gets minutes and has some time. So I could see him checking up some shots there.
Yeah. What about you, George?
Yeah, I was already running Paul George in my limited champion lineup, so it's just sort of affirmed the minutes in there. However, I am still doubtful that there might be like that hidden minutes restriction he's been on. So if they're losing by like 15, they're going to go, it's another loss in the last like 2 weeks, so we're just going to take it and move on. But
that is always scary. That maybe that happens. Jalen Duren has been ruled out of Friday's matchup with Cleveland due to bilateral. Thank you, Luis. Yeah, we were just talking about our good friend Duren. I know it's like cranking up for Wiseman season. I am a little nervous because they're playing Cleveland, which is just a brutal matchup. But why don't we head over to Momentum Labs? We'll shout out Momentum Labs for sponsoring the show with some sweet ass projections. You can find a link to that in the show notes. Why don't we let's start at the bottom. We can start with we'll start with our guests first. We'll start with our friend George. George, what low L10 are we looking at right now? What are these cheapos that we're saying like okay, or like low, not cheap, you know what I mean? Go for it.
I'm going to revert back to my spicy take. I'm feeling the bowl. It's the magic time. It's what it is for. I'm going to stick with my bowl. I think in terms of other low L10 guys, I mean, is it really a spicy take to jump on a Cam Reddish and Matisse Thybulle train for like the third game week in a row? But I know, that's where I'm at for it.
So let me just see what Reddish. Yes, Caps at 17, projection at 23.9. Thybulle, what's Thybulle doing? He's got. Man, I hate these projections. I'm sorry. I'm just a hater. I am a hater on Thybulle. Bull Capital projection 15. I like the Bull call. What do you got for me, Ghost?
So I didn't find a ton of value that I love in the super low caps. JT Thor was a little bit interesting, especially they're just like ruling guys out left and right, and LaMelo's out. So he's been starting. He hasn't really been doing that much with his minutes, but he's a 5 cap, so I feel like he's a pretty decent dart throw.
We're gonna get some exercise between Kai Jones and JT Thor, I think.
Yeah. I highlighted Johnny Juzang, who's currently a 0 cap. I didn't know who he was until today, to be honest. But he got minutes for Utah. He got 14 minutes. And Utah's still got all of their guards out. So if you want to take a dart throw on that, I don't know how many people have Johnny Juzang cards, but he's a 0 cap. So
I'll tell you what kills me with that. I've had his common card since the start of this game, and I've trained it up every time. And now that commons are no use, I have no use of his like 20% or whatever it is I had on that common card for it. But yeah, sad times.
I'm thinking, do I have to buy one? Oh no, I don't have enough. I was like, if I have this ETH loaded up, I might snag a rare. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was pretty sure that was UCLA legend Johnny Juzang. Shout out Dustin in the chat.
Also, Mike, were you doing a victory lap on Paul Reed this week? You had a 40 spot, I think.
No, because I didn't fucking play him. The Paul Reed stuff is infuriating. I love Paul Reed. I think Paul Reed might be bad, but I like him as a fantasy asset when they let him play. But yeah, I know he had a great game. Shout out. I know Jeb and a couple of people in the Discord played him, so shout them out for nailing that. He had a big game. Ghost, anybody else that you wanted to highlight down there before I steal a couple?
I think you're probably going to mention him, but Charles Bassey at 10, especially with all these Spurs being ruled out, I think he's going to get some minutes there. So I'm interested in him. Simone Fontecchio is another one. Yeah, they just don't have a lot of guards. I think Sexton is already ruled out again, and Clarkson's ruled out, so they're going to be really thin there. Chris Dunn, is it Chris Dunn that doesn't have a card yet? He doesn't have a card yet, I don't think, unless they release him today. So I don't think he's even in play. But that's an interesting pivot if you want to look at the Utah thin roster there.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have a play. For the Spurs, I don't think we covered it. Who is out for the Spurs tonight?
Let me see. I know I saw Keldon Johnson.
I think Trey Jones is back. Is the only one that I know.
Doug McDermott's out. Malachi Branham is questionable. Devin Vassell is out. Keldon Johnson is doubtful.
Oh God, Keldon Johnson! I gotta redo all of my lineups. I feel like there's one person out in all of them. The guy I wanted, I think Charles Bassey's awesome. I think that's a great play tonight. I wanted to point out Kira Lewis, which, or is it Kyra? I think it's Kira. He's got a cap 12 projection of 15. I like him. I also think, maybe there's not a ton of upside yet. But depending on what happens over the next week or so, they've been using him a little bit more. I know that Dyson Daniels is back now, so that makes it a little bit hairier. But I really like him. Yeah. Anyways, him, Aaron Wiggins again pops. So the OKC thing is a little bit weird. I wanted to shout out Dario Saric. They are without Kenrich Williams. I forget. I don't even know. I haven't checked his projections yet. All right, cap 14, projection of 19. Go ahead.
I was bummed about that. Kendrick is out for the season, I believe.
Yeah,
and he was having a quietly like solid year.
Yeah, that was a bummer. Also, I feel like we had a little light in attendance today. Maybe it's because I was too distracted, didn't plug it like I normally do. But make sure you like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag George into the chat so we can pump these numbers and give away some stuff here at the end. Yeah. Well, so Sarge I like quite a bit. Jordan War's popping. Wow. But I agree with you, Ghost. There was nobody down here, like even Wiseman. He's not projecting super well, like the Watfords of the world. Like, there's nobody I like really love down here. I know Matisse Thybulle probably going to project as one of the better plays, but I'm going to continue to just not play him. Kuminga, though, although I guess we might get Steph Curry back this weekend.
Yep, supposed to be on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, so that should be good. What about some mid-range guys? George, we'll go back to you. Anybody in that sweet like 20 to 35 range that's poking out to you?
Yeah, I've held on to a Kelly Oubre Jr. and the LaMelo Ball injury is now his time to slot straight back into that starting lineup. High usage rate. I really like him for this week. Same with Jeremy Grant, but he's still been a bit since Damian Lillard came back properly. His numbers have always been really projected well and then never really performed to it. And then also Gordon Hayward, I think, is obviously with the Hornet situation. I quite like Gordon Hayward this week and Booker. There you go. There's a whole host of them.
Yeah, Booker's continuing to be a smash. What about you, Ghost?
I still like Zach Collins at 26. I know that's a little bit higher. Willie Hernan-Gomez, I think, is 23. Willie is, I think Jonas is doubtful tonight. And Larry Nance is still out, so they don't really have a center. So you're probably looking at him. Najee Marshall was a little bit interesting because he's been getting a little bit more minutes. And his cap is all the way down to like 13, I believe, or something like that.
What was that last one? Sorry?
Najee Marshall.
Yeah. Yep, Najee, cap of 16, projection of 22 right here, yeah.
So, and he really flashed earlier in the year. So anytime he's getting minutes, I'm pretty interested in him.
Yeah, I like that. I wanted to shout, I lost the spot. It was up in this 20, Kelly Oubre. I think Kelly Oubre is someone who loves to put up stats on a bad team. And with like a cap of 27, projection of 39, I like that quite a bit. Celtics are also in like a juicy matchup too. So all of the Celtics seem kind of interesting. If that game stays close, it's going to be because Boston didn't play defense and the score is going to be like 140 to 130. And if it doesn't stay close, that means the Celtics probably blew them out. Sorry to you Nets fans, but I just don't. If it stays close, there's going to be a lot of points. So I like kind of mapping it out like that. But those that in that range, that's kind of what I like the most. I want to make sure we didn't scroll past anybody like Robert Williams, Zach Collins. I agree. I think Zach Collins is still a great play. Mark Williams still a great play. THT, Cam Johnson, all of those guys I think are pretty solid. I'm into all of them.
Do we finally admit that this could be the week where Dylan Brooks outdoes his cap? Outdoes his cap that he's had for every week. He's getting a higher projection every single week.
It's been a while since Brooks has done anything, right? Outside of like Ja. I feel like Ja's been the only playable Grizzly lately.
Well, he's done a lot of trash talking, but he hasn't really done much in terms of Sorare side. So I'll give him that. But...
I agree with Pablo here. I mean, Booker does seem like he could just light up a contending lineup this week, especially because did they announce if KD's playing tonight against your Bulls, Ghost?
I did not see any KD news. They're going to murder us probably either way. But players love to go for like 70 points on us, so I could see Booker having one of those games.
Yeah, it's either you guys or the Rockets that are giving up a truckload. There was a couple of questions in the chat too. I know I usually wait to save that, but Lonnie Walker was someone with the cap of 10, projection of 15. I mean, that seems like pretty low risk, high reward, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
He's at a cap of 10, Lonnie Walker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I know, right, because they've added so many different pieces, so his role changed a little bit, but no LeBron.
We highlighted Killian Hayes last week too with all the injuries, and I think same thing for this week as well at a 20 cap. I think he's going to be carrying a big load there with Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one. I like that with no Jaden Ivey. Or are you with Jaden?
I think they're both. I think those two are really the only two that are not ruled out, pretty much.
Yeah, and Wiseman, baby.
Yeah, and Wiseman.
All right, making sure I didn't miss anything. All right, let's go. Let's move up top. We'll just do more questions and answers than we normally do. Hit me with we'll do Ghost. You can go first. What's some of like your favorite MVP high end plays?
I really like Dame again with 2 games. There's a lot of like superstars that I only have 1 game, like the Jokic's,
Right.
Embiid's. Giannis has 2 games, so I'm leaning towards guys that the superstars that have the 2 games there. So I'd say Lillard or Giannis are my 2 favorite high end plays there.
I like that. Coach Stark in the chat saying word is around 27 minutes for KD tonight, and he's playing. But now Taylor is saying that's a fake Ballsack Sports tweet. You know what I hate about that? That's not even funny, right? Like that's not a joke. That's just saying like that's just lying. You know what I mean? Like you gotta make if your Twitter account's gonna be Ballsack, you're gonna be funny. Anyways, what about you? What about you, George? Where are you at?
MVP wise, I'm going Jason Tatum on his. Is it birthday today? I want to say I saw like a stats
It is
news
birthday. It is his birthday
post.
today. I love that.
I'm going to go for a JT birthday narrative. Yeah, he's going to have some like 50-point game and then say it's for this reason on his birthday. But apart from JT, I do quite like Sabone on the double against the dejected Clippers. I feel that if they go like 15 down, they're just going to throw the towel in and be like, oh, we'll chalk it up again. So,
yeah, Sabonis's cap's pretty low too, at 42. I feel like he's getting a little bit healthier.
You could probably sneak Sabonis into a champion lineup as not even as like your second guy. Like when Luka was dropping down again, you could probably do it in that way. So
I'll show you guys what I ended up doing for my champion to just talk about what my although now I feel like I need to change it a little bit. I went John Laurie because I figured like Markkanen is just very similar to Sabonis in that way, where it's like a 42 that could be like an MVP. Lauri Markkanen's been awesome. And especially with the guard situation just being a dumpster fire, he's just going to take so many shots. This will be a good pivot to questions too. I wanted to ask you, because this is great. John's a great play. Lauri's a great play. Mark Williams is a great play. Kuminga's a great play. What do you guys think about Kevin Porter Jr., who's making his return? He's got a cap of 36. Normally I don't do this, but I didn't really have anything in that range that made sense, except for like Michael Porter Jr., who only has 1 game. I was like, they have 2 games. I know he's right fresh off of injury, but that team sucks. Like I feel like he's just going to come out and fire. Any thoughts on the KPJ?
I have thoughts on the basis of that it's the Spurs and the Rockets, so I'm not going to be counting anything from that game entirely from now. I've got Jeremy Sohan playing, and I'm like, well, what happens, and that's pretty much
it.
Kevin Porter strikes me as the guy that doesn't mind chucking on a bad team. So I'm fine. I think he's a good play alongside Jalen Green because I could see them just both chucking. I'm sad about it because I think for Sorare purposes, it was fun to have them out because a lot of those value picks came from the guards over there, which aren't as much in play anymore. So that's a bummer, but I think those guys are in play.
No, Knicks is toast now. JD was asking, shout out JD for being here. He's saying, how about the DSJ? Yeah, we were talking about Dennis Smith Jr. That was one of your picks earlier, right, George?
Yeah, he was part of the in that team. It's mad at how Sorare works. If I'm looking at Dennis Smith Jr., it's like, yeah, I want to play that guy, and that's how it works.
I want to look at here really quickly, just for this Kevin Porter Jr. conversation. If we look at guys that have that cap of around 36, right? So you're seeing like I guess Darius Garland, I'm definitely playing over him. Walker Kessler, I'm probably playing over him. It's Terry Rozier, I'm playing over. This is over Kevin Porter Jr. Jakob Poeltl too, but I mean Jared Allen, Tyler Hero, CJ McCollum. Like I don't know, I'm probably playing him first.
It's the 2 games against the Spurs. It's nothing to be looked at in that regard. Like if anything comes up, if you're going to pick 2 games, you're going to want one of those, a team of that ilk. So it's not bad at all.
And then now I'm just going to look at this while I'm here because I'm going to forget to do it. So now I got to get rid of Keldon Johnson, huh? That's brutal. I kind of like this. I had Wiseman, Sarge, John Collins, who I didn't really love, and Cam Johnson. But we're going to fix this while we're here. So this gives us an average of 27. We just do Zach Collins. Oh, let's see. Is there anybody in the 29 range?
29.
Let's see. Draymond Green, Wendell Carter Jr., Jordan Clarkson, who's only playing 1 of the games, though, right?
You got Jeremy Grant or Banchero at 28.
28, yeah. Clint Capella is projecting really well too, huh?
And I like Dort a lot at 28 as well. With SGA.
I've got Dort in my limited under 23 lineup at the moment.
Let's see how much Doherty reporting costs. Let's see what that looks like, and then we'll go
a chunk back here.
Yeah, come on, 26. Good lord. Oh no, 7.
Ah, that's not bad at all. The Sorare market's booming.
Oh, let's let it rip, baby. Let's let it rip. All right, let's reset the table here as we get into some of the questions. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then all you got to do is put Hashtag George into the chat for your shot at a limited tier. We've crossed the hundo mark. I don't know if we're going to get all the way to 200 today, but if we get over to 200, we'll give away a little something else, probably of the rare variety. What about Franz Wagner? There we go. That's what we'll start with the questions. What about Franz Wagner? Also, just a reminder, although it shouldn't come into play tonight because I should be able to get to all the questions. If you do a super chat, you'll get that question read right away. Franz Wagner's been like super disappointing lately for fantasy purposes, not for basketball purposes, but he's going to cap at 24. George, how are you feeling about the old Franzi?
I'm feeling pretty good about the old Franz. He's in a very strong looking limited. I said this before when I did my preview video. I have never been more excited for a limited contender lineup than I've got this week. I've got Devin Booker, Thibault, Reddish, Franz Wagner, and Dylan Brooks in a lineup. If that doesn't beat the projection matrix that of all of these come from, then I don't know what will.
You just never play again.
No, I'm never going to look. It's always going to be an I know better stance than projections. That's going to be it.
What about you, Ghost?
I like Franz. I mean, at 24, his ceiling's a little bit capped right now. He just really hasn't gotten over like that 35 hump recently. So I don't think he's going to kill you, but his output to come out to like one of those 50 or 60 spots is kind of low right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then I saw in the chat people were asking about where is it? I lost it already. Oh, Aaron Wiggins. I just mentioned that he was projecting well. We were talking about the OKC situation right there without SGA, without Kenrich Williams. I think they're going to start giving a lot of younger guys a longer leash, but do you guys have any thoughts on Ghost? Do you have any thoughts on Aaron Wiggins?
Yeah, I highlighted him in my primer today, actually. So he's been getting 3 straight games of 20 plus minutes and has 20 plus Sorare points in each game. So I like that he's had a little bit of a more consistent role because with the OKC guys, we're never really sure who's actually going to play. So that stability has been nice. So I like him at a 12 cap if he's getting those minutes.
Yeah, I like that too. Sorry, I was getting tagged in a tweet from a Dapper employee. So it's just catching up on what was going on over there. We got another question. PG and Westbrook or Jaylen Brown and Jeremy Sohan? We were just talking about that sexy Spurs Rockets weekend series. What are you thinking, George, on this one?
That's a slam dunk of Jaylen Brown and Jeremy Sohan for me. I'm not touching the Paul George and Westbrook trap. The minutes limit and Westbrook chucking up bricks all game and about 18 turnovers. I'm going to leave that one
there. You have a different take, Ghost? You also
I agree.
Yeah, I think so too. What else we got? Darius Garland or Scary Terry. Both of those guys projecting just about the same. I think like sticker shock, name shock, whatever you want to call it. You like immediately like, okay, Garland. But I do think Terry Rozier is projecting about 3 points better, but it is the Hornets, so you never know what's going to happen. Ghost, what are you thinking there?
I like both of them. I'm going to lean Garland. Rozier's been a little underwhelming the last like 5 or 6 games. He had like that stretch before that of like 40 plus games and like 5 straight, but he's been a little disappointing lately. He's definitely going to get more usage without LaMelo, but Garland's just always a threat to kind of get 70 points there. So.
Yeah. George, what about you? Where you at?
Yeah, I've got to back Ghost on this one in terms of just going to pull team rank here of Garland over Rozier in these sort of situations.
Yeah, I'll get a little different and just say Scary Terry. They got 2 games versus Garland's 1, and their 1 game is against Detroit. And I don't know, I'm just going to use it as a tiebreaker and take Rozier because I maybe like the Cavs win by 100. Killian Hayes projection. We had looked at him. Yeah, Killian Hayes looked good. Furio says DiVincenzo and Nicholas Batum or John Collins and Brandon Clark. All I know so far is that Brandon Clark is not projecting well and DiVincenzo is projecting well. I don't what it goes. Why don't you take this one? What do we feel about between those two?
I'm looking up projections here. I know that they have a lot out. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I mean, top of my head, it seems DiVincenzo and Batum sort of quite easily with Kawhi being out as well. And if Paul George is on a minutes restriction, Nick Batum might just see a little bit more than he usually gets anyway. So
yeah, we got Batum capped 18 with a 21 projection, which is pretty nice. That seems like what it would be for me. DiVincenzo and them. What else we got? Here we go. This one's for you, Ghost. Dead Cat says Şengün and Cam Johnson or Gafford and Claxton.
I want to lean Şengün and Cam Johnson. Şengün's been so disappointing lately. And now they got all those guys back, so I'm hesitant, but I think the upside is bigger on those two than Gafford and Claxton, even though I like both sides there.
That's great. I like that one. Markel Fultz. What about Markel Fultz? I mean, he's been balling. George, you got any Markel thoughts while I pull him up?
Yeah, he has been balling. I have a Markel Fultz, and I'm not going to be playing him this week. So I think that pretty much says everything that I need to from there.
Oh wow! Wait, you can explain how come? What just because
well,
you get better options?
Yeah, it's just more. He just didn't fit my lineup. So I think he's a great pick for it. 30's a little bit too high for what I'd probably want for Markel Fultz, but yeah, no, he's a great pick.
That 30 cap's a bit tough when his like main projections have kind of been like in the mid 30s. Like that's just not a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah. So rare NBA squad. I remember we had this conversation just to push back on Batum a little bit. I remember we talked about this where Batum's like one of the few guys that when the starter's out, his numbers go down. And it's just because he's like that perfect glue guy. I still think he's a good play, but I do agree. I agree that like I remember us looking at that together. Also, Jed Kett said, "Thank you guys, saved my night. Been thinking about this for hours."
We're all good, all good.
We do have to talk about a little THT because he hasn't come up yet, and they were saying in between those two. So Dante, our friend Dante, has a cap of 26 and a projection of 33. And I believe Talon Horton talked. Yeah, there we go. Cap of 25 and a projection of 34. That's pretty close. What do you think, Ghost, on this one?
Oh man, I'm gonna lean THT, but I don't feel great about it. I think that they're pretty close to even. But THT with all the Utah guys out is a little more intriguing to me.
Yeah. You fall in the same line there, George?
Mike, play the clip. It's definitely THT.
Oh, play the clip. Hell yeah. Let's play the freaking clip. Let's go. THT, Incredible. All right, Valentine's got a good one. Valentine, excuse me. Maxey, Cam Johnson, or Dennis Schroeder. I do kind of like Cam Johnson tonight. I just feel like he's going to chuck some threes. Cam Johnson, why is it not highlighting? Did I do something wrong? Oh, wait, I was just there. Sorry, guys. All right, he's got a cap of 25, a projection of 31. We have Maxey, cap of 25, and a projection of 29. And then what you guys are looking at? What's the third one again?
Schroeder.
Schroeder's got a cap of 24 and a projection of 28. That's all pretty close. Ghost, where are you landing here?
I'm right in the Maxey hot hand. He is at 49 and 40 in his last two, so he's riding hot right now. He's getting 35 minutes a game, so I'm riding that.
Yeah, that's good. What about you?
I'm going to go Cam Johnson just based off Maxey. I think has only got one game this week, and it is against the Bucks. So if there was ever probably going to be a time where he doesn't drop sort of a high score on Sorare, it'd be this one, I'd say. But yeah, he is on form out of the three. He's the guy.
Well, I only own one of them, and I'm going to pick the one I own because it's my bags. I'm going to go Cam Johnson too, but I like all of these. I think Maxey. I think I would rank them like 1A, 1B. Cam Johnson, Tyrese Maxey, and then Dennis Schroeder finishes third for me. All right, let's see. I thought I saw something else. Oh, Roji says, "Is it worth me getting a new 28 cap? My only option is Şengün. Tough decision." I guess what we can do is scroll in the 28 range and see if there's anybody we really like. I feel like that's kind of what I was looking at earlier, right? Where there's Capella. We're shouting Jeremy Grant quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I really like Jeremy Grant this week. Him, Kelly Oubre Jr., I think they're the two in that sort of range. I think Marcus Smart's dipped into 27. And like we said, I mean, games against the Knicks and the Nets, if it's going to be close, he might have chuck up quite a few more assists than normal. Always potential for a steal there. So there'd be my three guys in around that mark.
I like it.
I agree with those guys. And then the only one I would mention as well is Zach Collins at 26 is kind of interesting to me there.
Yeah, I like Zach Collins too. JD was giving us his lineup. We got Jeremy Grant. We talked about him. Mark Williams, Reddish, Thibault, all the guys we talked about. And then Kyle Anderson we haven't looked at, but Kyle Anderson seems to be very consistent. I feel like he's got a cap of 24 and a projection of 31. And this is your first going for your first rare reward for contender. Hell yeah, man. Good luck.
That lineup is very well. Actually, it's not. I've got about three guys the same in there. So JD, we're in the same boat here. So we can either cry together or celebrate together.
You guys are gonna have to chop your prizes up.
Yeah.
I believe Isaiah Livers just got ruled out. Isn't that right? So
no, he was probable. I think he was one of the few that was still in.
There we go.
He's ankle listed probable for Saturday.
Okay, forget it then. So Livers should get a lot of run then, right? So if we see him, doesn't have the same projection, but I wonder if this doesn't have all the Detroit news as this was done at 3 p.m. Eastern. So we can just look at Melton. I think I would go livers there. What about you?
Yeah, definitely livers over Melton, especially with Maxi being in his hot hand at the moment. He's the one that sort of seems to have lost out from it. So, yeah, definitely livers.
I agree.
Yeah, Ghost, this one's for you. Malik Beasley or Herbie Jones?
Ooh, I'm probably going Malik Beasley there. I don't love, like, I feel like between Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, a bunch of those like wings on the Pelicans, it's tough to really figure out which one's going to go off. So I don't love to go that direction.
Yeah, Herb Jones has got his shots fallen off too quite a bit. So that's been tough.
He's a better real life player than a fantasy player, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. DeRozan or Poole? I just got Poole as a reward, so only the 5% XP. DeRozan the 8% XP. This is a good one just because we think we get Steph back on Sunday too, so that's going to impact a little bit of the Jordan Poole role. Ghost, we'll start with you on this one. Because you're the Chicago native or Chicago fan. How are you feeling between DeRozan and Poole?
I'm going Poole for sure, I think. DeRozan just hasn't been the same lately. I haven't seen those big games out of him. He just seems a little sluggish. So I'm going Poole there, who's been kind of electric so far, even with Steph coming back.
As someone who's played DeRozan a bunch over the last 2 months, he has like his ceiling has been 27-7. Like we haven't seen, which is like fine. That's fine, but we haven't seen like the bigger thing. The one thing I will say is DeRozan's cap is like, what is that at right now? Let me pull it up. He's at a cap of 32 and a projection of 39 where you got Poole. So they are pretty close. I'm with you. I think I lean Poole there, even though Curry's coming back. But yeah. Alan was talking about Oubre. We were talking about Oubre, right? George, you're on the Oubre train as well or no?
Yeah, I'm on the Oubre for a red champion. He's I'm praying that he just goes, you know what, I'm just going to take all of the ball tonight. And that's pretty much how I feel Kelly Oubre Jr. operates in this Hornets team anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's very good at shooting a lot. I don't know if he's very good at making them.
His efficiency's in doubt, but he'll just throw loads up. So,
I'm gonna Snoopaloop says we talked about Scary Terry a little bit and how he's gonna take a million shots, but also like he might not play in the sense that the Hornets suck. Or Clay, I get another Warrior. Ghost, where do you land on this one between Scary Terry and Clay?
Oh man, I'm gonna lean Clay just for the reasons that you just said. Actually, I do love Terry though. I think that Terry's like a great pickup, especially with LaMelo out for the rest of the season. Like I was looking at Terry cards just because I think he's going to be racking up easy stats in most games.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that one. Taco Slayer, if you could only buy one, you can both do this one. If you, we'll start with George. If you only buy one, JB or Sabonis? I feel like we already know George's answer.
Oh, that is. I've got to go Sabonis. I've got the Jaylen Brown in my lineup, but I got to say Sabonis on this. Bone all the way.
Bone. What about you, Ghost?
Same. I would lean Sabonis.
I just feel like Sabonis's floor is 18 points, 13 boards, 9 assists. Like that's the worst performance you're getting out of Sabonis. He's been so consistent with those numbers while he still does have like huge upside. So I'm with you. I think week after week, I feel like he's a great play. Alan C, we got to pick one of these three. We got Trey Murphy, Eric Gordon, or Kyle Anderson. I'm just to say this right now. I know the Clippers are shorthanded. Eric Gordon has sucked ass since coming over to the Clippers. So he's going to finish in third place regardless for me. So I'll just start there. But Ghost, where do you go this way with these three?
I probably rank it Kyle Anderson 1, Trey Murphy 2, Eric Gordon 3.
Yeah, Trey Murphy cap of 23, projection of 27. I'll look up Eric Gordon for that cap of 25, projection of 26. George, you anything different there?
It should be his lineage right to be third in this. Trey Murphy the third. That's how it should work. But no, Eric Gordon is stone cold last in this manner. And the other two, I don't really care what one you pick. So yeah,
it's tough. We the people said, "Oof, can't take anymore." I don't know what happened. Did we? Is it because we had? Clipper slander? Is that what happened? Was it the Clipper slander? All right, Tyree Eason, or is it DeLon, right? I feel like I'm a little bit nervous about the Eason stuff with everybody coming back. He is, although he's projecting really well, cap of 22, projection 27. And then we also have DeLon Wright, who I knew was projecting pretty well for a cap of 22 as well. I mean, oh my God, it's like percentage points right there. George, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, I think DeLon Wright had like a 40 point the other day.
Yeah, 41.
So I'd probably, I'd go to DeLon Wright on that one.
Yeah, he does. What's nice about DeLon Wright, like he's probably never going to score 25 real points, but he's usually really good at like 10, 8, and 8 or something like that. Brody was asking about, okay, thank you. You can leave it there. Yeah. Just packages coming. Sick, dude. Juzang, we talked about him a little bit. The UCLA's finest, who's going to cap a 0. This is we just said this is like pretty high risk, high reward, right? Like the good news is you're getting somebody a 0 who, if he gets 10 points, he 10x his cap. If you guys have him, are you playing him?
I'd probably slip him in and then try to get like 2 gigantic superstars in like a champion lineup or something like that, or a superstar into a contender lineup and have him as a 0. But I wouldn't expect more than 10 to 15 points out of him.
Yeah.
I think the player's a contender. Throw him in a contender one, and then if you wake up in the morning on my side, and he's got 0, then you have no right to be angry. That's all I can say.
We were talking a little bit about Giddey, right? What about Giddey with Shea out? He might pop off. Why? We saw he has a ceiling. Yeah, I mean, you know what's been weird? I know Giddey had a good game his last game. What's been kind of weird is we've seen the emergence of Jalen Williams, who we've already seen has been pretty good, but he's been like, 25 plus points back-to-back games, right?
They struck gold with him. He's so good.
He's so good. He's like winning good. Like, he's not just like putting up stats. Like, he can do a little bit of everything. Alan's asking about AD. We haven't really talked about AD, even though he's been playing out of his mind. I think there was some concern he was going to sit, but he's listed as probable. His cap's still so low. They have 2 games. I mean, if I have AD, I'm running him out there, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that with him being the main offense right there without LeBron anymore, he put up 57 and 65 in his last 2. Got to ride the hot hand like that with outperforming his cap right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've got one in your gallery, definitely play him. I wouldn't necessarily be sprinting out to go and buy one, but I'd definitely be playing him if I had him. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is a good one too. I like Draymond Green's been kind of weird lately too, where it's been a lot of 9 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. But Draymond, Wendell Carter Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr. Again, I think I'm nervous about the Rocket situation. Just whenever guys come back, like high usage guys come back, it makes me a little bit nervous. But you see, he's right here with a cap of 29, projection of 26. Draymond Green and Wendell Carter Jr. right on top of each other, like a percentage point between them. George, you want to rank them?
I'm gonna go Wendell Carter Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr., Draymond Green. That's how I'm gonna lean on it from this, just from off the top of my head of projections from looking at it before. But I'm probably wrong, so don't take that as gospel as is.
There you go. What about you? Ghost? Where are you at?
I'm conflicted on this one. I think I'm gonna put Draymond number 1 actually, and then Kenyon Martin, and then Wendell.
Wow, you got Kenyon ahead of Wendell too, riding the Kenyon train. I love Wendell Carter Jr. But I also have seen him do duds. These are all like kind of high risk, high reward guys, which is fun. So that'll be a good sweat. I look forward to hearing back from Bogdan about how infuriating it was this weekend. Kono's asking, Ghost, Jalen Suggs, you got 2 games of him. He's been a weird player to root for this year. Or Reggie Bullock with 1. Suggs, we haven't seen him pop. He's got exactly a cap of 21 or projection of 21. And then Bullock, let me pull him up, and then I'll let you go. Yeah, cap of 21, projection of 19, basically. Where are you at with that?
I'm going Jalen with the 2 games. Jalen hasn't been playing great, but Reggie Bullock's cap is a little bit his ceiling's a little bit capped there, and I feel like Jalen could pop off in one of those 2 games, and that's really all you need. So he usually goes for like a 40 point and then like a 10 point. So as long as you get the one big one, you could be good.
Yeah, I like that. To address JD over here, JD was saying how is Shea not looking to play at all. So he's still in health and safety as far as I know. I wouldn't play him this weekend. I mean, the good news is like once he comes out of health and safety, he should be good to go based on what I've been reading.
He's for sure out this weekend though.
Is he out for both games?
I think so. They only have 1, don't they?
Oh, do they only have 1? Okay, then yeah, he's definitely out.
Unless Momentum Labs might be only projecting for 1.
No, the Thunder have got 2. They got a double against the Jazz.
Okay,
so on the 4th and the 6th.
So the spreadsheet must be just only projecting for 1. So never mind.
Yeah,
he's definitely out for the first one.
It's still super risky. It's super risky. So if you don't have anything else, let it rip. But there's definitely some risk involved there.
Yeah.
Wiseman or in Jalen Williams, or that's the big Jalen Williams, right? Jalin. No, it's got to be. That actually might be Jaylen Brown. I can't tell. No, I can't tell what that is, Josh. Josh, do that one more time so I know exactly who you're talking about. Halliburton or D. Mitchell or Laurie. We haven't talked about Hallie at all. Hallie, I think he sat out the most recent game, maybe. But
I think he's still questionable. Yeah, I was going to say.
I think Laurie's probably going to project the best out of all these. Look at that cap of 42, projection of 51. Is anybody taking somebody else over Laurie?
I'd go with Laurie. I love Halliburton. I think I'm just worried about his injury status if he just missed that last game. And I don't think that like George said, I think he's questionable or we're not sure if he's going to play this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon ruled out. So that, I guess it boosts Derek White a little bit, boosts Marcus Smart a little bit, maybe Peyton Pritchard chucks. But if anything, it probably just boosts the main benefit.
Is Derek White's cap still? Yeah, it's still 39. That's
Jesus
tough there.
Christ. Yeah. Yeah. Marcus Smart probably gives him a little bit more of a boost. Let's see. Yeah, we looked at Killian Hayes earlier. He's projecting good, but he only has one game. We saw him do this last time everybody was out. So that's worth it. I like this question here. Darius Sarge, there's a big gap between these caps, though, I believe, right? Isn't Sarge like 16 and Bassey 10? Sarge is, no, cap of 14, projection of 19. Bassey, a cap of 10 with a projection of 18. Ghost, I know you were on the Bassey train. Where are you landing there?
Leaning Bassey for the upside that he gets like a significant amount of minutes with a lot of people out and goes for like a 30 spot, which he did 2 games ago or last game. So I like his upside over Sarge.
His game weeks have been super funny because they've been like or his scores, it's like 37-13, 37-13 or something like that. All right, going back to Josh, he was talking about Jalen Williams. So it's which is the big. So the OKC big. Oh, now I lost it, Josh. I let you down, Josh.
Josh, you should have redone the whole question, not just the segment.
Here we go.
On,
Here we
man.
go.
There
Wiseman in the OKC big Jalen Williams or DeJounte, and then taking the cap hit of 0 Juzang. That's a fun one. Wiseman or in big Jalen Williams or DeJounte Juzang? What say you, Ghost?
I'm going Wiseman and Jalen. I'm just scared of taking. I know we recommended Juzang as like a dart throw, but I think that there's more upside in those other two than a 0 plus DeJounte.
Yeah, same. All right, rank these, George. Max asks, how do you rank them? Need 2 out of the 3: Sabonis, Ant-Man, and Booker, which I think is pretty fun because you got Booker's cap, which is so juicy. Sabonis, we've talked a lot about, and then Ant-Man.
I'm playing an Ant-Man and a Booker, but Sabone is number 1, and I'm gonna go for Booker too. Just if KD's on that minutes restriction, I think he's got the higher upside than Anthony Edwards. So yeah,
there we go. I like that. Roel and Valentine both saying Giannis, Embiid, or Tatum. Let's rank all 3 of those guys: Giannis, Embiid, and Tatum. And I think, is Embiid the one that has 1 game, or do they all have?
He's got 1 against the Bucks. Tatum's got 2. I've got no idea what Giannis has.
Giannis has 2 as well. Go start with you. How are we ranking these 3?
I would go Giannis. Giannis, Tatum, Embiid, just because of the game situation.
Yeah. What about? And I know you flag planted Tatum a little bit earlier. You going Tatum number 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean on the story narrative. If I had them, it'd probably be I'd play Giannis, but I haven't got to the situation where I can warrant spending the money on a limited Giannis yet. So I'll go in this sense. I'll say Tatum, Giannis, Embiid.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close between those 2. I'm going to take Giannis.
I don't think our birthday narrative played out last game week though with Fred VanVleet, right?
That's right. Is that a birthday now?
I thought it was a baby. That was a baby narrative.
Baby narrative. Excuse me.
He usually crushes that, and he didn't. City was asking about De'Aaron Fox. He's got a cap of 50. I think it's 50, right? And a projection of 44. So that's pretty fine. They got 2 games, which is nice. It still says he's questionable, but it looks like he's going to go.
I think he's playing. He's probable. I think he did all the shoot around and stuff. So I think he's playing. The cap's quite high on him, but I mean, he might have another 30 and 20 and whatever night. So yeah, just run with him. That'll be fine.
Yeah, Borland was asking about Muscala. Muscala's been with. They just have so many bigs, Borland. So I like Muscala if we knew one of them were sitting. One of Al, Robert Williams, Blake Griffin, like any of those guys. If one of them was sitting, even Grant Williams, I'd be more apt to do it. Like he's probably going to play 14 minutes and take like 5 shots. So if he hits all 5 of them, it's a great play. But it's a hard path to.
He's gone 5 straight games with pretty much doing nothing. So tough to play him right now.
All he does is shoot 3s, and if he's not hitting his 3s, it's done. Cam Reddish now with Simons out Friday or Kuminga. Woo! That's a fun one. Both of those are projecting well. George, what do you think about this one?
I'm going Cam Reddish. I picked a Cam Reddish up myself primarily before I knew Simons was out. So I think that also enables Trendon Watford to be a little bit more useful on the Friday than he would be. So, but yeah, I'd go Cam Reddish.
Okay, Simon's is up. That's right. Remember last time we all thought Shaden Sharp was going to be the beneficiary, and no one's talking about him. I bet he absolutely pops now. Snoopaloop, do you mean Aaron Wiggins Snoopaloop? You were saying Bobo or Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is inactive, I believe. Aaron Wiggins is projecting well, and they're both similar caps. Aaron Wiggins is projecting better, but I think we're all riding the Bo Bowl train, right?
Yes, come on the Bowl. There we go.
Ghost, I won't even let you answer that because we're just gonna stay on chat. Trey Jones or Dennis Shroud? Is Trey Jones playing?
Yeah, I think he's probable. I think
he'll
play in this one. He might just be on minutes restriction, but I mean it's the Spurs, so they'll probably just let him run out as much as he wants. So,
ooh, what are you doing there, Ghost?
I just want to look up to see if Trey Jones is for sure what his status was. Trying to find it here. I lean Dennis Schroeder on that one though.
Yeah, that's pretty close. A couple more things here. So yeah, we noted Cam Reddish is going to start. Ben Simmons now dealing with some back soreness. We got Jimmy Butler's going to play. Caleb Martin is available to play. And Terrence Ross has been ruled out, which really doesn't affect the needle too much. And AJ saying, also shut out one of Keon Johnson in a giveaway, and he just helped me get a T1 last week. Let's go. See, I give away these crap cards, but then you turn them into gold. Let's see. Yeah, JT Thor, he's got a cap of 5 with some projection high upside. Leon, this is a good one. Nick Richards or Willie Hernan Gomez, because I know we've been talking about Dick Rich quite a bit. This is probably Willie Hernan Gomez season here, right? Especially if Jonas Valanciunas is out.
Yeah, I highlighted Willie as one of my favorite plays. He's kind of reminds me of Mark Williams in that he puts up a ton of stats in limited minutes usually. So when he gets to start or have a significant minutes, like he's very nice play there. So I like him over Nick Richards, whose minutes are kind of wishy-washy a bit.
They really are all over the place. You need to run into some foul trouble, I think, to get the full Nick Richards experience. And then we've already talked about JT Thor and Kai Jones soaking up a couple of minutes. So it really does limit a lot of the upside of Charlotte outside of Mark Williams as from like the bigs perspective, I think.
Did I just hear that Jimmy Butler is now listed probable to play because he was questionable before?
Yeah, he's available. He said he's good to go.
So I've got one for you two now. Then it's hot off the press. So I had a Jimmy Butler. This was all part of some elaborate video I was going to do, and then he was questionable. I was like, I'm scrapping it this week. Would you play a Mikal Bridges in your rare contender, or would you play a Jimmy Butler? That's what I got to say.
Wow, I can't believe we're even asking that. That you know what I mean? Like that's even a question.
It's what Sorare NBA is. This is what this game does. Because Jimmy might play the next game and sit the Hawks one tomorrow. This is where we're.
And I can't remember. Do the Nets have 1 game or 2 games?
2. They got Boston, but they got the Hornets after, and that's where I'm looking at that Charlotte game.
I'll play Bridges.
Yeah, I'd lean Bridges as well.
Because I don't love Bridges tonight. Like I'm taking the unders on.
Yeah,
Bridges
see, I don't like the Nets v Boston, but that Hornets game, that could be tasty.
And it's not even like the Celtics have a stout defense. I mean, they've gotten a lot better, but they defend the wing really well. So I don't love Bridges as like a playmaker for this one.
That pains me to say too, because Jimmy Butler is probably my favorite player in the league. You can't really tell back there, but like 10 of those bobbleheads are Jimmy Butler bobbleheads.
There we go.
I love Jimmy, but it's just if he plays like 25 minutes tonight and then sits with the Hawks, that was my concern of it. But okay, we cleared that up. Thanks, guys.
Brody was asking James Harden or Markin, and that's kind of fun. I love that Lauri Markkanen's in the James Harden conversation now. Harden's been playing great, though. I will say that Harden's been awesome. He's got a cap of 47 and a projection of 46. So they only have that 1 game. Markkanen, does Markkanen have 2?
Yeah.
Jazz? They have 2.
So.
For me, it's Lauri. Is anybody taking Harden there? I'm just using that as the tiebreaker.
No, give me Lauri.
Yeah, Lauri.
Nerfed says Tatum, Booker, Poole. So on Mark Williams, what are we saying? Yeah, no one ever sends a bad lineup in. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's great, man. That's a great lineup. Here we go. Petrovic, Divac, Kukoc. I recommend you to see the movie Once Upon a Time, Brothers. Yugoslavia won the championship, then everyone quarreled. But yeah, that's a 30 for 30, I believe. I remember seeing that on ESPN. That was a really sad one. Isn't Vlade Divac in that too? Am I making that up? No.
I used to work for the Bulls, and I was basically like a wrangler for a lot of the celebrity players, and one of them was always Tony Kukoc, and I would play horse with him before a lot of the games.
That's so cool.
Fun stuff. He's a cool guy. He drinks a lot.
Did you ever beat him? Did you ever beat him at horse? There
was one time where we had to stop halfway through, and I was up like HOR to 0. So He doesn't.
You're taking that win by forfeit is what
There
I'm
you go.
hearing. There. That's what I'm hearing.
Wait, there was one other thing. Oh yeah, Torb says, "Oh man, Wiseman or Kuminga." Man, this is I am the Wiseman champion, right? Like I love James Wiseman. I've talked about him for like 2 months now. This I know everybody is out for Detroit tomorrow, or it's tonight. I don't know. It's game's tomorrow, I think. They're playing Cleveland, which is just like that's Evan Mobley and it's Jared Allen. And like we always highlight how, the guards can play shit defense because they got those guys behind them. I just don't love that matchup. So Wiseman probably has higher upside here, but I think I would play Kuminga.
I agree. And I watched James Wiseman live against the Bulls this week, and I could say that he just did not look like a very good basketball player. So I will side with Kuminga there.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to play Wiseman, but I think it's I am playing. Actually, I think I'm playing both in the same.
You've almost convinced me to go and buy a Wiseman and pick him up now, Mike. That was a beautiful monologue there.
Well, here's the thing. He's like an offensive god. That's not great at basketball right now. And Detroit wants to be bad, so they're just going to let him go. We haven't talked about Nickeil Alexander-Walker at all. Do we need to say anything on Nickeil? I know he was projecting pretty well. They don't have a ton of guards over there. How do we feel about Noah?
He's only a 9 cap, so I like him to go above that cap. Is he going to get more than like a 20 to 25? No, but at 9, I think he's definitely in play. He's getting minutes, which is nice.
Yeah, that feels like a contender versus a champion type play. I don't know, George. Do you have any thoughts on Noah?
I don't have many thoughts on Noah. I think that sums up the stance for Nickeil Alexander-Walker for this week.
Yeah. Nerf, shout out, dude. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna do this question, then we're gonna do some plugs. We're gonna get our giveaway ready. I'll hit a couple more questions after this. Moon says rank these: Cam Reddish, Matisse Thybulle, and Kevin Love. And I feel like both of you guys are gonna rank them in that order.
I think I'm gonna go Thybulle over Cam Reddish. Thybulle, Reddish, Love.
Yeah, Mike, you're gonna want to just. I'd probably turn the camera off because I'm also going to go Thybulle here. I'm sorry. Kevin Love's a bit better because Caleb Martin's out, but Miami have looked terrible, or they just not look the same when they've put Kevin Love in anyway. But
I know it's just okay, fine. What did Matisse Thybulle do this last game week?
He had a 45.
He had a big one.
God, fuck.
It's pretty wild, though, that he got to 45, though, because his stats were 12 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, but he had 4 blocks.
Yeah, it's
2 3-pointers, so it's ugly, but it works.
It's the block. Somebody was asking me the DeJounte. He's got a cap of 37, a projection of 42. I believe Trey was at shoot around, so if somehow Trey misses for some reason, but it looks like he's going to play, then that's cool. All right, let's do some pluggy plugs. George, hit us with some Swingman Podcast Alpha. I'll drop a link into the chat to the pod itself. But talk to us a little bit about where you're going.
Yeah, me and 3 guys from the UK. We just kind of talk basketball, and people look at us like, "Oh, you're British. You shouldn't really talk about it," but we do, and some people listen to it. And then, as of a couple months ago now, I've been doing sort of consistent Sorare Game Week videos just on my channel, previewing the lock and everything like that. So yeah, come hang out with me. That'd be great.
Hell yeah! Just shared a link in the chat. You can find that. Ghost hits with some lucky trader stuff. I'm going to share. I know we still got a few minutes before lineups lock, so I'll share your the primer that you threw together for Lucky Trader into the chat, but hit us with a little bit of what's going on over there.
So every Monday and Friday, I write the Sorare primer for each game week, go through a lot of the plays, all of my value plays, what teams have multi-game weeks, different injury news. So a little comprehensive look at the slate. So give that a subscribe if you like this type of content.
And I know they do because people are here. So make sure you're subscribing to that, hanging out in both of those channels and everything. I also just dropped a link. I'm going to plug the thing that we're doing right now. We are doing, instead of like a Patreon type situation, right? I just shared it too right there. We are doing this like round of investment where instead of like you pay $5 a month, you get a t-shirt and a video or something like that. What we're doing instead is it's a one-time investment of minimum of $50. And then over the next 3 years, any sort of revenue that comes in for Team Hold, 13.5% of that goes back to the investor. So instead of just doing like our normal bullshit thing, if that is something that you would be into, there's some other perks that come with it that I've explained both in like blog form. We did a separate video earlier this week, 2 separate videos actually. But what it's doing is it's giving us a chance to hire an editor because I suck at that stuff and we need to do more short form content. And so the goal is to hire a part-time editor, also do some more in real life events. So if you're into that, click the link. You can just DM me some questions if you have them. We've got a channel in the Discord as well dedicated to those kind of questions if you want to know a little bit more. By no means should you feel pressured to do anything like this, but if you're into it, if you like the content, if you want to support us in a different way, please do it. It's been a pretty cool journey that we've been doing. It makes us LLC. We're official, baby. And it's not yacht money. That's the other thing. We're raising it, caps at 25K. Once we hit 25K, that's it. It's done. And that money is going to 2 different things, the editor and then the in real life events that we do throughout the year. That's the full pitch. And if this was your first time here, hey, we do daily NBA content. We do a bunch of So Rare content, whether it's live before lock on Mondays and Fridays, whether it's value hunting, which we only did once this week because the Top Shot world decided to light itself on fire. But we do a lot of fun shit. So as always, I appreciate everyone being here. Make sure you do your training lineups. All right, this is going to be the last call for the giveaway. I'll hit a couple more questions. I forgot to share. This is what I meant to do while I was talking about it. This is what we got over here, baby. We are at 27% already. So take a look. You can find all the info you need. Again, there's better explainers out there. So like the stream, subscribe, #George. Looks like everybody's almost in there, so that's exciting.
Everybody wants a piece of Mike, man. Get a piece while you can.
Yeah, it's going to be more expensive next time, whether this is successful or not, because I'm going to have to just one way or another get more money, you know? All right, let me see. Sunshine 49er says, I have to start one of Pirtle or Kessler. Both have a cap of 36. Raptors have 1 game versus the Wizards. The Jazz have 2 versus the Thunder. I mean, this is Walker Kessler, superstar Ranger, right?
I go Walker just for the 2 games. I think they're close projection wise, but Walker's 2 games, he has a chance to go for a 50 or 60 there with just getting 5 or 6 blocks probably.
Exactly. Wait, if it's front ended, if Team Hold makes 200K in the next 3 years, you get your money back. Wait, what? No, it's not. No, you're gonna be okay. It's not like that. I explain all of how that works too. All of how that works. Also, Ghost, I won your Lucky Trader Limited champs last week.
Nice.
Hell yeah!
Congratulations.
Van Fleet, yeah, dude, Van Fleet's been tough lately. They only have 1 game too. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody want to play Van Fleet?
The baby narrative is over, man. He's now a new dad. He's tired. He's not getting any sleep. So I'm out.
Sleepy, man. He's sleepy. Wiseman or Diallo? Oh God, I think Diallo's.
Have you got a Wiseman? Have you got a Wiseman clip? We need I think you need a Wiseman clip.
Know.
This is what we need.
I know we do need one. 2 more. I don't know. I think it's Diallo. I just don't. I don't love it though, guys.
You got me concerned with the Cavs matchup there for Wiseman. So I think I would lean Diallo there too.
Yeah, he's gonna put up like 25 and 12 now. So I'm sorry. Let's go. 2 more. I'm gonna hit 3 more and then we're done. So Ian says Max Strus or Grayson Allen both have 2 games. Max Strus has been bad, or at least the times that I've run him out there, he's been pretty bad. I don't know. I don't want to fucking say Grayson Allen either. Does anybody feel strongly one way or the other here?
As strongly as I can feel for Max Strus because Caleb Martin's questionable. So that's it.
Okay, yeah. He projects a little bit better. He does. Strus does. Ghost, you same?
I'd go Grayson Allen, but I hate Grayson Allen, so I'm fine picking Max Strus.
Gross. Joe's saying pick one of Jabari Smith, Jaden McDaniels, which that's the Wolves one, right? Okogie, Herter, Eubanks. God, Eubanks has been ass too the last couple. Everybody that I've been playing has been bad. He's getting like 2.6 boards. I think this is Jaden McDaniels, right?
Man. I wish Okogie was still getting more minutes.
I know.
Do you know I'm lighting the beam here? Kevin Herter all the way. Just got
fun.
Light the beam. Go for it.
That's fun. And then last one, we'll end it with our man Ewan. Limited Drew Holiday or common Laurie Markkinen. That's right, because the Drew Holiday Limited gets an extra boost, right? I don't exactly know what the boost is though, Ewan. So that's tough. I think I would just take Drew. Maybe they get 2 games.
I think off the top of my head of reading the median post once, I think it's a 40%. So if it's that, then I'd go Drew. If it's not 40%, then I'd go Laurie Markkinen.
It's 40. Oh, it's like a full on.
I think it's like you play
like
4 limiteds and 4 commons and 1 limited, and that limited gets a really big boost, like what they do in the football
like
side
football.
for the Premier League.
Okay.
If it's not that, and I'm completely wrong, then yeah, go Laurie Markkinen.
And I'm gonna only because this is our guy so rare NBA squad, Garland or Mobley. That's a fun one too, because I think they both project pretty similarly. Mobley with cap of 38, right? Cap of 37, projection of 37. Garland, cap of 36, projection of 40. So the numbers say Garland. Is anyone taking Mobley?
I'm going Garland.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'd go Garland. However, your very believable and convincing monologue on why James Wiseman's going to suck this week, you could go for Evan Mobley and use that as it.
They just exchange buckets forever. Yeah, it is a 40% boost, so limited Drew all the way. All right, listen, guys, we're going to spin this. We got one limited tier that we're going to be giving away. I appreciate everyone for being here. For Ghost and George, I appreciate you guys taking the time and being down for this. If you win, shoot me a DM at Mike Zakarian or in the Team Hold Discord. It might take me a day to get back to you because today has been hectic and I need to not stare at a computer. It's Bogdan!
Hey.
Shout out, Bogdan. Congratulations, my man. Shoot me a DM. And then everybody else, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Best of luck. Go Nuggets. I'm excited to watch that Nuggets-Grizzlies game. Yeah, we'll be back on Monday with some more NBA bit, another Live Before Lock, and we are out.